Very good evening to you all and welcome back to the channel. I'm on my fourth shift. Come on, we're nearly there, we're nearly at the weekend. Oh, you had a fantastic day by the way, whatever you were doing. No doubt you were working, but hey ho, we have to do that for a living. And a huge warm welcome to anybody that's joined the channel. massive welcome, thank you very much. Hope you're enjoying the content. I enjoy doing it. So last night was in Ashford, straight run down to Ashford with an empty, and that's only because I had a bitch and a moan in the office because I'd already done 2 double runs, which I loathe. Yeah, I hate doing them. That's another part of my job. I hate doing double runs. I hate coming have to come back here, swap trailers again, go out again, come back, and it's just boring, and I hate doing it. So I had a bit of it would have been my 3rd one, and luckily one of the guys, Rob, who you saw on previous videos, when he was sat next to me, I had sort of like a mini interview with him. He decided that, you know, we could swap. He'd do my run and I'd do his, and I went down to Ashford, which was very generous. And we do the same for each other. If he doesn't want to do a run, and I'll do his, and you know, that's a great thing about this job. We can switch and change runs because we both start at the same time anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Tonight I've got Purfleet and Allington. Another long run, but I'm all right with that. I'm fine with that. It doesn't bother me at all. Perfectly, I've got to be down there for, it does say 1 o'clock, but on my actual manifest I don't have to be there till 2. I get there for 1:30. I watched a program on Netflix, and I don't know whether anybody watched it. It was the Menendez boys who brutally murdered their parents in their home in Los Angeles in 1989. And I know it's a very the year really stands out for me, 1989, because that's when I joined the army. So I watched the series, quite a few of them, and they'd obviously labelled their parents, especially their father, as a molester. He molested them when they was a child, and they took retribution or revenge or self-defense, put it across the courts that they'd been raped and molested. But when it came, because it went to a mistrial, they didn't have the votes. The jury was split. It was a split decision, so they had a mistrial and they had to go to another trial, and they get tried separately. And that's when all the truth came out, and it just goes to show that rich kids are so freaking spoiled. It's just not enough. Yeah, perhaps their dad was an hard ass, and like most parents were back in the late 80s, early 90s, and even before that, early 80s. Fathers, they were freaking hard men, because they were hard workers. They got to where they were through hard work and respect and discipline, and that's all he wanted for his kids, for his 2 kids, and they just couldn't handle it. And then the truth came out at the end that they basically killed him for their money, and he'd already told them that they were going to be out of his will because they committed burglary. I mean, these kids had everything handed to them on a plate. Everything. They had cars, they had money, they had everything. And at the time when they did it, I think Eric was 18 and Lyle, he was 20, so they knew what they were doing, knew exactly what they're doing. They planned it. It was all premeditated, but it was brilliant. And now they've been in jail for, well, they've got double life, no chance of parole, so they'll die in prison. And they're still maintaining now to this day that they were sexually abused by their father. And it was at the time when OJ Simpson got convicted as well. I think that was in 93, and OJ Simpson was in the cell next to, I think it was Eric. So that, you know, he sort of took away the limelight from the brothers, because it was a big profile case. But it was absolutely brilliant. It was really good. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and if you get a chance, bloody watch it, because it's good, because you get to see the other side of how rich kids are and how they think, and how they think the world owes them something, and it doesn't. You know, like everybody else, we've got to work and gain respect from not just our peers, but from our children, from everybody really. You know, you've got to earn respect. Respect isn't given. So yeah, if you ever get the chance, please watch it. It's it's really good, and I think the old trial was televised as well. But it just goes to show what like I say, the judicial system is like over in America. It's just like a big soap opera. It really is. It's comical. But yeah, that's my series review on Netflix for the the Menendez monster. They call them monsters, and they were absolute monsters. They'd even bought buckshots because they wanted to get the job done properly, and shot them at close range as well, 8 times I think. It was pretty graphic, but it is an absolutely brilliant show. So if you get the chance, please watch it. Right, what's going off in the golfing world? Wow. Rory McIlroy suddenly had a U-turn, and I knew it was sort of on the cards and in the future. With his stance on Liv, I mean, I totally admired what he was doing. He hated Liv. He hated everything that Liv stood for, and he said that if Liv was the only golf to play, he would quit. He would never ever play golf again. So his feelings were pretty raw against Liv, and now it's flipped. It's flipped on the other side. He's now accepting Liv, because obviously there's a lot of talks going off at the moment with the merger between Liv and PGA and DP World Tour. There was talks, I think, last week. So I think it was in New York where they had the talks. Obviously, Rory McIlroy was a massive figurehead for the PGA until they absolutely crapped on him. So I can understand his stance on it now, flipping and U-turning and saying, yeah, that he'll accept Liv as a competition. Now, whether or not he will play on a Liv competition remains to be seen, because if they're going to merge, then surely they're going to have Liv competitions, DP World and PGA, and they'll be able to play on any one of them. If that's what they're going to do, if that's what they're going to consider in doing, is merging the whole lot. I don't know. Please leave me a comment, see what you think. Are they going to call it World Golf? Why not? World Golf Tour or something like that. I don't know. I think things could get really interesting with golf at the moment. Right, I don't know whether anybody's noticed on the matrix signs now on the motorways. It's actually giving hints from the highway code, of which everybody should know anyway. Please keep left unless overtaken, which you shouldn't. Do not hog the middle lane. Now that I can totally understand that, because you get a lot of clops. I call them clops, and it stemmed back from when I was at Brown Hills. One of the guys who used to come down from Manchester used to call them clops. Centre lane, obnoxious ricks, spelt with a silent P. That's what these people are. They have no consideration for motorway rules at all. They all and I don't know whether you know this as a trucker when you're driving in the left hand. Obviously we keep to the left hand lane unless we're overtaken. Then we religiously stick to the left hand lane. But I look in my mirror, especially at night, because obviously I'm always checking my mirrors, and I check my mirror and I see a car coming up in the centre lane, and then he'll go in the third lane to overtake me to come back into the centre lane. I'm like, what the hell? I'm not a wide load, for God's sake. I'm not even taking up all the lanes, and I don't know whether any. Please leave me a comment to see whether or not it's happened to you, because it is literally comical. And I was driving to the M42 towards Tamworth, and they've got roadworks here. They're narrow lanes, and it's down to 50 mile an hour. There was a car in front of me. It was a white electric car. I know that because it had the little green thing on the license plate, and he was doing 45 mile an hour. So there was nothing on the left hand lane. I could see that down by me on my left mirror that there was nothing there. There's nothing there on the left hand lane. So I flashed him to move out of the way. Guess what he did? Yep, he indicated and moved into the right hand lane just when the approaching traffic on the outside lane was cut. And I thought, what the hell? Seriously, sooner or later they're going to start putting on the matrix signs when it's foggy. please put your fog light on. Or if it's not foggy, turn your fog light off, because for some reason people do not know when to use their fog lights. You don't use it when it's raining, for a start. It is absolutely comical. All you have to do is look down on that little dashboard in front of you. It's usually illuminated as well at night, so you know it's very easy to recognize when your fog light's been left on, because it's a little orange light with wavy lines that come out. And if it's dark and it's not foggy, there's no need to keep it on, because it blinds us when we're coming up behind you. And like I've always said before, and I've said in the past, if I'm behind a driver that's got his fog light on, it's not foggy, I'll put my main beam on and I'll blind them back, because there's no way that's the only way you get through to them. And some of them do turn them off and think, oh yeah, I've left my fog light on. And it happened to my wife as well. She's got an Audi with the lights that you switch, and then you pull the switch to put your fog lights on front and rear, so you got a double click. And she didn't know that the fog light was on, so every time a car was behind her, kept putting his main beam on. She goes, why is everybody flashing me? I'm blinded coming home. I could hardly see the people just putting the main beams on behind me, and I couldn't see. Did you have your fog lights on? I don't know. So when I turned the lights on and the fog light was on, she went, oh right, okay. How did that happen? Click click. All right, there you go. It's all about education. Every day's a school day. Right, that's it for me. I've got to go hook up to my trailer and I've got to get down to Purfleet. So drive safe, look after yourself, watch out for those lunatics, because they are everywhere. Like, subscribe, please leave me a comment. Drop me some comments, guys. I'd love to hear from you. And I'll see you for my final shift tomorrow. Or I might be playing golf on Friday as well. Might be, don't know, depends on the weather. We'll wait and see. Cheers, guys.